delighted to say we got Conor Hourihane with us this morning. Conor, good morning to you. How you doing?
Hi guys, you alright?
How's your body this morning after a Birmingham derby? A pretty exciting Birmingham derby. How are you feeling today?
Yeah. Obviously, listen. Yes, a little bit of sore body, but it's all good. When you win, it's not as sore as if you lose. So no, all good.
I've got to ask you straight off the bat. At what point did you realise there was a fan on the field making his way straight for your teammate and captain yesterday, Jack Grealish?
Yeah, we kind of saw him running kind of towards the group of players because he kind of came from the corner flag, but we all thought, it was a runner on the pitch, kind of, everyone was going to go, kind of like one of them things that happens in football, but no one expected the incident that happened, absolutely disgusting incident. Can't be tolerated in the game. Jack could have been severely hurt, so a freak incident that puts a dampener on the game, really, especially for ourselves, because obviously we've come away with a fantastic result, and to beat them in their backyard is huge for us. Keeps us on a half decent run, and we're talking about this idiot who ran on the pitch and could have caused severe damage to someone.
Was Jack rattled after it?
Of course he was, I suppose, but he was probably in shock a little bit. Has that just really happened? And he showed his class yesterday. He kept his cool throughout, and ultimately had the last laugh. The buzz when Jack scored that goal, it was just set up for him, and a lot of players would have went into their shell, and you couldn't have blamed them if he did. After that, but hats off to him. Absolute class act the way he handled that yesterday.
Yeah, you were pretty close to it, because I imagine you were pretty shocked as well. Like you say, we've all seen a million pitch invaders who go on, do a bit of a lap of honour, get their belly out and take the kind of slightly over-aggressive stewarding in their stride, and they're a hero down the pub for the rest of their lives. But all of a sudden this guy's literally launching himself at one of your teammates.
Yeah, it was just crazy, to be honest with you. Like you said, we all thought it was a pitch invader, make a name for himself, probably got jeered on by his friends to kind of go on the pitch, but that's kind of split reaction of what happened. It was just chaos for about maybe a minute or two. We were in shock. We were trying to defend Jack. We were trying to, give a little sly one to the pitch invader at the same time. It was just one of them crazy ones, one of the worst incidents I've seen on a football pitch by a long way. And like I said, just can't be tolerated in the game.
Yeah, because the Birmingham derby, it doesn't need any extra spice. It's been tasty over the last 15, 20 years, really, ever since Birmingham have started to be close to Villa in terms of their level again. And it is a real shame, because the game itself seems to be quite decent.
Yeah. Listen, there was chants between the two fans, and a lot of noise and a lot of buzz around the place, and that's all great. That's all part of the atmosphere in the game. But it got ruined, obviously, by that incident. But listen, we're delighted the way Jack handled himself and the players and the club, and like I said, ultimately we had the last laugh.
Conor, since Dean Smith has come in, there's been a change in philosophy in terms of the football that he wants to play, and I'd say it's kind of a more traditional Aston Villa style, going back to the European Cup winning team. I don't know if that's important or not around the club, but I guess as a midfielder who likes to play ball and have possession, it's been good for you.
Yeah, it's been great. We started off very well when Dean came in. Yeah, he wants to play football. He wants to get the ball down and pass it, which suits myself. It's been great since he's come in. We've probably had an up and down time. We started off great, and then we had a middle patch which wasn't good for maybe 6 to 8 weeks, and we had a lot of draws. And now we've had a few lads back from injury. And it's given us a big boost over the last couple of weeks, and we still have 1 or 2 to come back as well after the international break. So, it's been great. So, there's 10 games to go now. We just need to win as many as possible and see where it takes us, really.
Yeah, because you're only 4 points behind Derby. Derby in 6th, Villa at the moment are in 9th. Now, you can't just focus on one team. You kind of hope that Middlesbrough and West Brom might come back to you a little bit as well. But it's not beyond the bounds of possibility. We see it every year. Teams go on a charge, other teams' form disappears in the Championship. It's a crazy league.
Yeah, it is. It really is. All of a sudden we've won back-to-back games, and people are saying, we've got a chance again. Before them 2 games, a couple of weeks ago, people had said not a chance. So it changes so quickly. We've got 2 big games now before international break. Forest on Wednesday and Middlesbrough on Saturday. So if we can pick up as many points as we can in 2 games, will give us a chance after the international break.
Yeah, speaking of the international break, obviously you were Mick McCarthy's squad. I'm a bit of surprise that Glenn Whelan was named in the squad, but he made the point that he never actually properly retired, which was, he's obviously playing really well at the moment as well.
Yeah, Glenn's doing well. Like you said there, he never officially retired. I suppose the previous manager wanted to go in a different route and kind of, not have the older lads for the next campaign, and obviously there's been a change of manager, so, full credit to Glenn. He's been playing well and deservedly is in the squad, really. Are
you tapping him on the shoulder saying, here, hang on a second now, you can't be leaving and coming back, there's only room for a certain number of midfielders here, Glenn?
No, listen, that's all part and parcel of it. Myself and Glenn have been playing together at club level, so I get on very well with Glenn. So listen, he's had huge experience at that level, probably the most in the squad that's going to be there when we meet up, so that will be crucial as well.
How important is the new voice in Mick McCarthy going to be, and the fresh way of thinking?
Yeah, really looking forward to the new campaign and the new manager. He'll obviously bring his own fresh ideas, and really looking forward to it. Gives a kind of lift to everyone, and when a new manager comes in, a lot of the time it gives a buzz and a lift to everyone. So really looking forward to getting involved and getting involved for the next couple of games coming up.
Last question for you, Conor. You've 100 appearances now for Villa, so you're kind of embedded there, and the fans have really taken to you. Are you playing the best football of your career at the moment? And we look back through Irish football history. There's a bunch of players who peak at 28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
Yeah, listen, I'm really enjoying it. I signed 2 years ago now, January 2 years ago. To get 100 games in 2 years, I'm absolutely delighted with. There's a lot of players over the years that come to this club and aren't, don't do what they should be doing and maybe come here for an easy ride or whatever, and that's been the problem over the last 5 or 6 years for the club. So, I'm absolutely delighted with that. I feel like I'm coming into the best football of my career, like you said. Fortunate to be here, delighted to be here, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of years.
Yeah, well, long may it continue, and best of luck with the Ireland squad, man. Thanks a million. Cheers.
No problem, guys. Cheers.
It's Conor Hourihane there giving us some thoughts on the dramatic scenes in the Birmingham derby yesterday, and look, delighted for him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great video as well that Aston Villa posted yesterday of all his goals and assists in an Aston Villa jersey coming up to his 100th appearance. Some absolute whoppers in there.
In 2 years and 2 months, 100 games.
Not bad.
They flog you in the championship, but it is because it's the type of thing where you get an unbroken run, you get to show everybody what you can do, you get a bit of form, and suddenly your career takes off.
Yeah, and the teammates that he's playing with as well, pretty high level. That sort of kind of flirting with the idea of promotion via the playoffs is something this Villa team might do for the next couple of years, or can Derby capitulate fully once again? There is that's not an original take whatsoever. There's a lot of people who've said
Villa hammered them 4-0 2 weeks ago.
Well, exactly. So we'll see. It'll be great to see him promoted.
Kenny Cunningham, obviously captain Ireland, captain Birmingham City. Here he is talking on Sundays Off the Ball about his reaction to yesterday's scenes in Birmingham. Have a look.
No, nobody wants to see that. I mean, the games were great to play in. You mentioned there yourself, Neil. I was up there with Birmingham. We hadn't played a derby game for a number of years. We'd just been promoted back into the top flight. So the first derby game was actually played at Villa Park. It was absolutely electric. But don't get me wrong, it was outside of the ground, the atmosphere between the different sets of fans wasn't the most friendly. I remember after the game actually being held inside the stadium for a period of time. It wasn't deemed safe for us to actually leave the stadium. We'd won that game, I think it was 1-0 or 2-1. That was the first derby back. But it means a huge amount to the fans, as all derbies do. Neil, I'm never one to suggest one derby game is bigger than the next for the supporters involved in those particular games.
Whichever one you're involved in, it's more important to you,
absolutely.
obviously.
Yeah, they mean absolutely everything. But as a player, you can tell how much it means to the supporters. You really can. The lead up to the game, whether you're kind of you're brought up in that atmosphere, you just arrive at the football club very quickly. You're aware of the significance of the occasion, particularly for the supporters. So invariably they're very highly charged. A lot of tension in the games. Not a huge amount of football generally played in those type of games, and the result is absolutely everything. Unfortunately, it spilled over a little bit today, the actions of that one supporter. But you have to remember, Neil, it's only one supporter. You know what I mean? There's 35,000 people inside the stadium there. Generally speaking, they behave themselves very well, and thankfully, like I said, didn't seem to be too much contact made with Jack. He didn't make a big thing of it. Fair play to him. he picked himself up and got away with it. But yeah, derby games are special. They're the ones you really miss Neil, when you stop playing football. I hadn't got too many. I was trying to think, my early career, Millwall, West Ham was obviously pretty tasty as well. That was quite spicy for the same reasons. When I went to Wimbledon, we were struggling a bit for the derby. It was more the landlords, and I'm looking at Ian here. It was more like the landlords and the tenants when we played Crystal Palace. But yeah, we were struggling for a derby match then, and then obviously I went with the Birmingham and last year up in Sunderland. But yeah, they're great occasions, and thankfully most of the time we're talking about the football after it.